Hey, this is John from Bear Bull Traders, and I want to review my best and worst trade for 3 May 2021. As always, if you could like this video, subscribe to the channel, or hit the notification button, that's always appreciated. My worst trade today was on Coin. This is a high day break attempt where the high day was 305.03. The volume at entry was 700,000 shares, and the RVOL was 40%. Not a ton of volume here, but tradable. I really like this exacting resistance at the pre-market high and a $5 level of 305. So the pre-market highs here, this magenta dotted line, you can see all these hits on it here. Of all these 5 hits here, 3 of them are exactly 305. One of them is the high day of 305.03, and another one was 304.99. So really like that resistance. The trouble is picking where and when it's going to break through. That's tricky on a trade like this. But great potential for a strong pop, so that's what I was trying to get a piece of. And like I said, the problem is predicting which one of these candles is the one that's actually going to go through, if any. Is it ever going to get through? So as I got in, the 1-minute volume was stepping up just a little bit here, but this bar was actually pumping up quite a bit, so some nice volume there. The SPY was starting to turn in my direction after an initial sell-off, so it's nice to have a strong SPY candle as you take an entry and perhaps a reversal on the trend. And I took an entry when my time in sales showed large buyers hitting the 305 ask. So I have a screenshot of that here. You can actually see I have a separate time in sales to show orders over 1,000 shares. And you can see people putting in some big buys at 305. That's a good sign it's going to break down. However, the problem is I actually didn't know if something similar had happened on these other candles because I wasn't watching the time in sales for that. So that maybe was a bit naive to think that this was potentially the break. And the next problem was, after I got in, I actually saw 305 getting reloaded on the ask, and I really should have got out then. I had lots of time to get out near break even, and I didn't. And it fell down to 304.50, which is about a half-hour loss for me, and I waited to see if that would hold because half-dollar levels often do hold, and it did not, and I got stopped out for the full 1-hour loss on this trade. My best trade was just this break even on mRNA. This is a break of an intraday level, not a high day. And that level that I'm playing off of is 188. The volume at entry is 9.3 million shares and a nice RVOL of 180%. So mRNA definitely in play today, definitely acting independent of the market. Looked nice and strong, like I said, and I was waiting for the high day break of 188.88, which is not too far from the all-time high of 189. I think it's 189.29. The problem with mRNA is that it often rejects very harshly off its high days. It's a tough one. When it breaks, it's great, but it does make harsh rejections. So my thought was, this whole time it was climbing really strong up toward 188. In fact, it had fallen as low as 184.28 very quickly, and then it began this really strong march up to 188. As the market was selling off the whole time. You can't see all that price action in either of these charts, but it was really moving opposite basically a downtrending market, which was good. And then I saw the resistance forming near 188 and actually ever closer to it. So you have 188.08 and then a rejection, 188.08 again, a smaller rejection, 188.01 and then 188 exactly, 2 candles prior to my entry. So I really like that resistance closing in on exactly 188. That shows that could be where the battle's setting up for a nice pop. The 1-minute volume was building nice mostly, so I got a step up here, here, and here. There is an anomaly before my entry where it fell off, and the SPY was generally downtrending, not helping, but like I said, lots of independence here for the stock, so what I don't need is a harsh pullback in the SPY, but if it's going to chop, that's not too bad. So I waited for the bid to break 108.08 and it got an entry at 188.19. I probably should have had more faith to take this a bit lower and just take it as it was breaking 188, try to get a little closer to 188 itself. But as I entered, this huge volume came in, and I thought that's a really good sign. I really thought I could ride this further than it gave the opportunity to do so. I did get a move to 188.76, really not enough for me to partial in the size I was in at, and I got out near break even at 188.23. I will point out that look what happened to mRNA as it got up to 189. It did hit a high of 189, and look at this rejection all the way down to 187.50. That's the harsh rejection of mRNA I'm talking about. One of the benefits of watching the same stocks every day is you start to understand the behaviors of some of them. And, and mRNA can do this to you. Apple's not necessarily going to do this to you. So you want to understand those differences as you watch your watch list day to day. So thanks for watching. That's all I got for today. If you liked what you saw, or you have any questions or comments, please drop a comment down below. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.